everyone, and welcome. My name is Leah, and in today's video I'm excited to share how I've transformed our spare bedroom and turned it into a room that will definitely be much more functional and more organized, and it will most definitely serve our family much better than before. So I hope you enjoy this video, and thank you so much for being here. So I want to give you a little backstory on this room and kind of where we are. So the room that I am going to be sharing with you all today that I gave this makeover to is our daughter's old bedroom. So she moved into our old room when we moved into our new room, kind of did our little room switcheroo, and this room here became the spare bedroom. We were brainstorming different ways to use the room. We could use it as a guest room, we could use it as a home office, but ultimately I decided that a hunting room for my husband and son would be the best way to use this space. So not really just a hunting room, but just a guy room that they could, put their guitars and all their hunting gear and supplies and hang taxidermy on the walls and posters and all the things. And also just have a place for storage. So every time hunting season rolls around, we're pulling out totes and bins and digging things out of closets, and stuff's just everywhere. And then that turns into it just being all over the house. And so I just really felt like a designated space for them to store all of their things would be so useful in our home. And so that's what this room has become. So I'm really excited to share more about what I've done in here as we go along with the video. Just a little backstory on kind of where we started, and I can't wait to share the process with you all. As you can see, this room really just became more of a catch-all space when we did our room switch back in April, and it now just kind of holds extra furniture or things that we really just didn't know what to do with. And it took a while to even get it down to what you see now, but we did work on it a little bit at a time. Once we had a purpose for the room, I knew I wanted to give it a really nice fresh coat of paint, something very warm and cozy. I ended up going with the color Cocoon by Sherwin-Williams, and I had them lighten it just a little bit at the store so it's not quite as dark, but it's still definitely very moody, and the lighting in this room is really good. There's a lot of natural light, so I felt like a darker color would work fine, and it also will just kind of set the backdrop or the tone for the direction we want to go with the room. You can see here that it definitely is going to require more than one coat. Even though it's a really good quality paint, I knew I was going to have to do at least 2 coats. So I ended up doing 2 coats on the wall and about 3 coats on all of the trim work. But it was definitely worth the effort because the results are really great. It looks like a completely different room. While I finished painting, I thought I would share a little more details about the purpose of the room and what our goals are for it. It's not really a place where I think they'll spend a lot of time. Like, it's not really a hangout room. We tend to just like to spend time together in our living room, the 4 of us. We've just always been that way. So this is more of just a storage room, just a place where they can have all of their supplies and gear and things organized and in a more permanent location rather than having to, drag out totes and bins each season and dig for things. So I think this is going to be really nice for them, and hopefully will help them have a better, more organized hunting season, and will also help me keep the rest of the house a bit more tidy and picked up during hunting season. As you can imagine, I stirred up quite a bit of dust because this room sat pretty much untouched for the last several months. I have not done anything in here, definitely no cleaning. So by the time I finished, painting and everything, I really needed to do a lot of cleaning. So I did a basic cleaning, ran the vacuum, things like that. But now I just want to kind of touch everything up and do that final sweep through before I start bringing things back in. The furniture you see sitting around is just stuff we already had, so I'm just utilizing what we had to work with for them to have storage space for all of their things. We are on the lookout, shopping like Facebook Marketplace, things like that, for some better storage in here, maybe some cabinets or just different things like that. So what you see is just kind of temporary. What we will end up keeping is this corner cabinet. This is an antique cabinet. It belongs to my husband's aunt, so she's letting us use it. I thought it looked great in here, so we're going to keep that, and then we will also keep the dresser that you'll see a little bit later on in the video. I'm just working on putting a few things away, things that were just already sitting out, but I know that when we have some free time, maybe on a rainy day, we can start pulling things out of our storage space and really just filling this space and making it theirs. So what you see today is just me kind of piddling around a little bit, setting a few things here and there, just things that I could see that was out in the open. But ultimately this room will become a lot more full and hopefully more organized, and it'll definitely be a place I think that they enjoy. I can definitely tell it's been a while since I cleaned these windows, so definitely going to take some time to get these clean and nice looking again. But I have to say, I'm so grateful for these new windows we put in. So much easier to clean than our previous 1960s ones. So I'm definitely thankful. I'm definitely not going to be complaining about having to clean them, that's for sure. So more of the same on this side of the room, just additional trophies to be stored on this dresser here. The dresser will probably always stay, but I hope to find a different way to maybe organize the trophies, maybe do some wall shelving, something like that. But for today's purpose, I'm just trying to get the space cleaned and organized and have space for them to start pulling things from totes and bins and have a permanent home for their things. So lots of freed up drawer space now that they can do that. Also, you may remember this recliner if you've been here for a while, but this is the recliner that stayed in our living room for the longest time. It's completely wore out. We finally got a new one, but my husband just didn't want to part with it. So I figured this was the perfect place to put it, is in this room. And then a little story on this closet door here. This is a closet door from our last house. It is the house where we brought our son home from the hospital, and I actually wrote his name on this chalkboard door. This was the nursery closet door. And I wrote his name on there before he was even born, and we actually ended up having a very traumatic birth experience with him. He's definitely a miracle, and I just left his name written in chalk for a few years later. And then when it came time to sell our house and move, I just didn't have the heart to erase it. I don't know why. I'm normally not like sentimental about things, but I don't know. We had to keep it. So we just brought the whole door with us. Crazy, I know, but I thought it would fit this room nicely since this is a room that my husband and son will be sharing. Thank you so much for joining me and watching today's video. I hope it gave you a little bit of encouragement or maybe some inspiration to think outside the box. Think of ways you can utilize spaces in your home that maybe don't have a great purpose. I've seen people turn, formal dining rooms that they really didn't use all that much into playrooms for their kids. There's so many different things you can do. Just because a room is a bedroom doesn't mean it has to be used that way. That's so for many different rooms in the house. So just a little encouragement to definitely think outside the box. Think of ways that your family lives and how you use your home, and just make those little changes to make it work better for you, and definitely makes things a little easier in the long run. So again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.